Welcome to Quarterback Film Room. I just want to discuss a few or a handful of quarterbacks here entering the draft, specifically guys such as Josh Rosen, Baker Mayfield, Lamar Jackson, Mason Rudolph. Okay, four guys who, there is a variance of opinion on all four of them. Okay, and let's start with Mayfield. We know what he's done at the collegiate level. He's thrown for over 14,000 yards. He's set numerous NCAA, Big 12, and Oklahoma records during his 3 years as the starter for the Sooners. Okay, he's a guy who has a tremendous amount of playmaking ability. He's a tremendous thrower of the football on the move. He can create. He has high-level instincts in terms of creating things out of nothing. Okay, but the thing that really is troubling about Mayfield is his feet and his lack of smoothness and his lack of a rhythmic feel consistently with his feet. We saw a little bit of it happening in the Senior Bowl, and he's been training obviously throughout the course of the past 2 to 3 months. Okay, so maybe he's refined some of these issues, but the speed of the game is so much faster. He's going to be learning a pro-style system, and his feet are going to have to be seamless. And if they're not, which they've shown not to be on his college tape, it's going to be interesting to see what exactly happens, how fast he's ready to play. Then we've got a guy like Mason Rudolph, a guy who I've watched more and more tape on, obviously, as this process has unfolded. Obviously, all the guys, we have to watch a ton of tape on all the guys because of our draft guide that we publish on the quarterback class, right? But Mason Rudolph's a guy who has elite feet and an elite release, okay? You can say, well, his arm is weak or his arm is average to below average. That's very true. You can say that his athleticism isn't the greatest. But what you can't question about Mason Rudolph is his leadership, his intellect, his ability to pick up offensive systems seamlessly and quickly, and, most importantly, his ability to naturally throw catchable footballs with a natural release, natural sense of timing and anticipation, and, like we've said, a Jimmy Garoppolo-like release. So he's a guy who is going to be selected at some point in round one. And you know what? I'll say it right here. Mason Rudolph can end up being the best quarterback in the entire class. Josh Rosen. Okay, so a lot of people up and down on Rosen. Most of the people are high on Rosen, okay, with good reason. Crisp, fundamentally sound, technically sound, really smooth in terms of how he operates within the quick and intermediate game. His ability to throw deep with touch, Josh Rosen this is. So he's a guy who has a lot going for him. Obviously, an independent thinker like Aaron Rodgers in terms of his ability to think independently. Also very, very cerebral, like an Alex Smith, in terms of his intelligence. And then stylistically, a cross between Matt Ryan, not as athletic as Matt Ryan, and then also Eli Manning. But there are some issues to Rosen's game, specifically when he has to check the ball down or when he has to throw underneath crossers. Oftentimes at UCLA, he was off target on those types of throws. So there are some areas that he's going to need to continue to refine and to be just a little bit more precise with ball placement, ball trajectory. But a guy who can throw it deep and a guy who's tough. Also, Rosen's feet aren't that quick, so he doesn't have that natural suddenness to move, evade, and to move subtly within the pocket. And then finally, just wanted to talk about Lamar Jackson. So a guy another guy who's received a lot of hype, a lot of fanfare in terms of people doubting Lamar Jackson and then also people praising him. So as the process has continued to go on, Lamar obviously doesn't have an agent, but a variety of teams, numerous NFL clubs, are setting up visits, meetings with Lamar Jackson. And when you watch his tape, you have to be truthful about what Lamar Jackson has put on tape. And you take the holistic view of his entire tape, 2015, 2016, 2017. The kid's a natural passer, natural passing instincts, operated the Bobby Petrino pro-style system that featured Lamar's arm and also his legs, but a guy who has a high football intelligence quotient, a guy who has a very compact delivery of the football, and a guy who has tremendous, rare arm strength on the move, his ability to evade the pocket with high-level instincts. Okay, so he's got these refined qualities, Lamar Jackson this is, that will and are making him a hot commodity. And he's another guy who's going in round one. Okay, he's going in round one. Don't kid yourself.